Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how to set up Courseplay for having multiple machinery running at the same field at the same time doing the same job. Now I already made a video about this and you can find that video here, but in that video I was not talking about machinery that had a working with a floating point number. Now if we go into these machineries that I have stood here, actually I didn't want to go into that, I want to go into this one and go into my garage. I have these two combines stood here in field number 29. Now it's not the combine itself that's the point. The cutting head, however, is the point. You can see that it has a working width of 13.7 meters. And it's the 0.7 meters that's the issue here. A couple of people have been asking me, how do we do this? How do we set up multiple machinery? Because Courseplay does not allow for floating point numbers when you set up a combined working width. And that's true. So let's say for this setup here where I have two combines with these headers here, the combined working width would be 27.4 meters. And I can't set up that 0.4 meters, so I would have to go down to 27 meters, and that will cause issues eventually. So that's not an option, that's not a solution. So I've been working my head over time how to come up with a solution for this issue, and thankfully Courseplay has done it for me. Now, a lot of you guys has probably noticed that Courseplay version 5 is now available on the in-game mod hub. That version, the Courseplay version 5 that you find on the in-game mod hub, is a stable version of Courseplay. There is no bugs, there's no errors, it's working perfectly, and you can use it and you can do a lot of stuff with it. However, it doesn't take floating point numbers into consideration, which the version that I showed earlier on doesn't do either. The version, however, that I'm using right now, I'm going to go into cap view, is the version 502.00037.dev. This version is not available on the in-game mod hub. You will have to go on the Courseplay GitHub where you can download this this version here. Now I'll link the GitHub down in the description so you can find it easily there. All right, well, so what's so special about this version of Courseplay? Well, actually it takes it into consideration that you have multiple tools. So let's have a look at it. Now we're on field number 29 and we are harvesting barley. It's ready for harvest, so let's just jump straight into it. We're going to go into the fieldwork mode down there and open up the course generation button. So we're on field number 29. Let's find that one. That was right there. Now for some reason Courseplay is detecting 13.2 meters instead of the 13.7 that we saw, but I trust Courseplay, so that's fine by me. The starting location, we're going to be starting from where we stood. So instead of having to deal with, pardon me, instead of having to deal with setting up north, south, southeast and west and so on, I'm just going to say start from where I am, current vehicle position. And the starting direction will thereby be automatic. I can't change that. It is set to automatic. So Courseplay is going to calculate the best route or the best course for these two combines to follow. Return to first point, I don't really care about. Headlands I do care about. I do want headlands, and I tend to have 3 headlands. So if I was using one combine, I would go around the field 3 times doing the headlands before I started going north, south or east, west. However, with 2 combines I can't set up that scenario. Instead I'm gonna say let's go around for 2 headlands. That would effectively be that I would have one combine going around the headlands 4 times. So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna go around the headlands clockwise, and the headland turn is gonna be smooth. You could set it to turn, and if you do set it to turn, the combine will go up to the corner. Now you can see if we scroll in on field number 29 up here, that corner up here is a 90-degree corner. So the combine would come up to the corner like that and go all the way up to the end of the corner, up to the end of the field. It will raise the header and reverse back, and then position itself to go down this side and then lower the header and go down. So it would make a 90-degree sharp turn. However, the rest of this field is kind of smooth, it's kind of round, so I'm going to choose to have smooth cornering. In this way it's not going to stop and it's not going to raise the header, it's just going to go around in a circle. Alright. A new function that Courseplay is working on as well is the bypass island function. Let's see if I can in any way illustrate what that is. The bypass island, if you have a look at the pylon stood right in front of us there in the middle of the field. Now that pylon is stood on sort of an island that is not a part of the field as such. There is not planted anything there, and I can't grow anything there. So if I were to set this field up to avoid that island, I haven't because, well, I'm lazy, but I could set it up so that little island wasn't part of the field. I could then tell Courseplay to bypass that island, to actually try to calculate a course around the island. However, seeing as I've been a lazy git, I don't really need to do this. Besides, this is a very much work in progress right now, so I have seen bug reports on it, so I'm just gonna deactivate it for now. Multiple tools, we're gonna have two. Now, notice what happens here. The multiple tool function, as I just mentioned, is not implemented in the version 5.0 that you find available on the in-game mod hub, but the version that we have here, it is available, and it will calculate the floating point number as well. So you can see that it's calculating 26.4 meters, which is the double of 13.2. So that is all taken into consideration. It's really, really cool. All right, let's calculate or generate the field course. And you can see that Courseplay is taking a while to calculate it, which is, as far as I know, because we are starting from where we stood. We're not defining an area to start in or a direction to go. We are leaving it all to Courseplay, and because of that, it takes a little bit longer to calculate the actual course. But now we're ready. And if we go into cap, nope, we're not going to go into cap view. We're just basically going to see it from here. It's a little bit difficult because of the tree, but we have the start of the course right here in front of us, which is nice. All right, next thing we want to set up is the lane offset. Now, if you remember in the last video, we had to multiply and divide, working with, and so on. It was very, very difficult and very confusing. This time around, it has been made a lot easier for us. We got right and we got left. And if we had 3 machinery, we would have a center as well. You can have as much as 8 machinery on the same course, so you can have a lot of machines doing the same course. However, we're going to be starting with right, and we're going to choose symmetric lane change because, yeah, I've tested it thoroughly, and without the symmetric lane change, I do get some weird results every now and again. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but I tend to have symmetric lane change activated, and it will work fine for me then. All right. So we're basically ready to go. However, I am going to position the combine harvester a little bit better, so I need to get this one out of the way. Just a tiny bit. So if we could move away, please. There we go. Thank you. And we can position this one a little bit better. Right, so remember, we choose to have this one driving on the right side, which would mean that this would be the one that would go into the center of the field, or closest to the center of the field. So here we go. I'm gonna start it off from here. Alright, so we're gonna go into here and say that we want to start at the first waypoint and drive course. So it's going to go into the start point, and it's going to position itself to the right of the center line on this course that we set up. And off we go. Neat. That's very, very neat. Now the next one we're going to set up is this combine over here. So we already have one combine set up to drive this course. So instead of setting up another combine to drive the same course, or instead of going through all of those steps again, we're going to go into fieldwork mode again, and then we're going to go into the driving settings in here where we can copy a course. So we're going to copy the course from the CR 10.90, which is 115 meters away. We're just going to click this icon here, which is going to copy the course, and you can see that we got the start point right there. Now, we already have one combine going on the right, so this one would have to go on the left, and again, I'm going to activate symmetric lane change, which is basically telling this one to always stay on the left. Right, okay. Well, let's set it off. I think we are far enough away. We might go a little bit further back here. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can start from the first waypoint and drive course. So he's going to go to the first waypoint, and he's going to stay on the left of the center line of the generated course. And then he's just going to go off, like that. Starting up these combines takes a long time, actually. I've never really thought about that, but seeing as it goes here, it does take a long time. Alright, these two combines are off on their course, and things seem to be working just fine. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to go into... We want to have these... There we go. Right, we're going to have these combines emptied somehow. So once they're going to come up here, we're going to set up a course for chasing them. And I'm going to try to do it a little bit different. Instead of having a normal overloader, I'm going to use this overloader here, which is probably a very bad idea, but I felt like a challenge. Alright, we got the first combine coming up here, so let's jump into the Massey Ferguson and start her up. Now, setting up the overloader course is going to be pretty easy, I hope. Alright, so we got the first combine coming up there and things are going great. Let's jump into this one and see how it handles the corner here. You can see it's just turning. It's not raising the header or anything, it's just turning. And it does do a little bit of a bad turn here, but yeah, there you go. If I had chosen to raise or to do a turn, a sharp turn, it wouldn't have had this zigzag line here, but I'm okay with it. It doesn't really bother me that much. But it could have been done better. If we have chosen to turn instead of having the smooth headland, it would have been a lot better. Anyway, doesn't really matter. The second combine is coming up, and let's see if we can get this going. So we've got the Massey Ferguson driving as the chaser. It's going to chase these combines down on the field, and it's going to empty them out, and it's going to go to the fend, which has a trailer attached, and the fend is going to drive the grain back to our silos and return to the field to unload the overloader. Alright, let's jump into the Massey Ferguson again and go into the field. So you can see there will be skipped a little bit of grain here, but it's not really that bad. You can see the first corner, or the outer line, so to speak, that combine going right there has made quite a nice turn, so it can be done. Yeah, there you go. Alright, I'm gonna set up a course for the overloader now. Notice how this one has the pipe on the back, so I need to figure out a way to do this properly. I think I'm gonna set up a course from probably around here somewhere. That should be fine. Alright, so we're gonna go into the overloader mode down here, and it's as simple as just recording a course. Like that. And I think we're gonna do like this now. Alright, so we're gonna reverse from here, and we're gonna reverse. Let's see, we're gonna reverse back to there. A little bit further, actually. Let's reverse back to there. Alright, let's set a waypoint here and stop the reverse driving. And let's go back to the field to end the course. Alright, should be fine. I'm going to stop the course there, and let's set the fine combine to automatic search and next closest waypoint. Now we don't really care about the pipe position because we've already extended the pipe and it should be working just fine. So drive course. Not quite sure where it's trying to go right now. Right. So just head back here. Right. Drive course, please. It's trying to go somewhere. Right. Stop it. And let's go from the first waypoint then. Wow, this is terrible, isn't it? Alright, so it's picked up the course and it's gonna go to the reverse point up there. It's gonna try to reverse back to where I set it to go. And you can tell that it's doing just fine. It was just having trouble picking up the course because the reverse point and the stop point are quite close to each other, so it wasn't really sure which one it should pick. It's going to reverse back to there, and then it's going to go back to the stop point, and it should be chasing the combines down. No combine in reach, and now it's going to wait for... Yeah, it picked up the combine. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the speed of this one. The field speed, I'm going to set that to maximum speed. That might not be particularly realistic in terms of how you would do it in real life. But notice how it's using the pathfinding to stay away from the crops. So it has to go all the way around the field here to make this work. One bad thing about this is that it tends to be a little bit unsafe in turns. When it's turning sharp, it can be a little bit unsafe to drive this fast. But so far it's going fine. And hopefully it should pick up on the first combine we set off, and it is. It's going to the very first combine we set off to unload that one. And that combine is almost done a full lap. Alright, so the grain tank is full on that combine, so Master Ferguson is going to pick up on it. Here we go. Now, as you can see, setting all of this up can be very, very tricky and tedious, but it can be done. And if you try to think ahead when you set these courses up, you will get a good result pretty much every time. Alright, so the combine should go down to 80% and it should start harvesting again. There we go. Now this trailer might be a little bit small for these two combines. I wasn't actually really taking that into consideration, but I think it might be a little bit too small. We'll see later on how it goes. Right now it seems to be going just fine. Alright, so 73% and the other combine is ready for unloading. So you can see what it does there. It says down in the bottom, it's waiting until position is free, so it needs to go into here. And now it's going to go back to the other combine. It's just going to detect that that combine back there is in need of emptying, so it's going to go back to that one. Meanwhile, the other combine is just continuing its course. We might get into trouble here. Wonder if we can do this without the other combine stopping. Seems like the yield isn't as great on the outer side of the field as it is on the inside of the field. Huh, it's weird. Never noticed that before. Alright, so it's full. And now we're gonna get stuck in trees. Maybe? Are we lucky? Can we do it? We can. Oh, great. Alright, so it needs to get back to the unload point, and this is where we've got to give it some credit, because it is, again, using the pathfinding to get back. And instead of going the obvious way, which would have been up there, it is actually trying to go all the way back. Yeah, it's just how it is. So it's almost back at the course, the overloaded course. So it's going to pick up the start of the course up here, and it's going to go down to the waypoint. As you can see there, the beacon turned on, and now it's going to go back to the waypoint. And our job now is to go into the fend and set up a course with this one. Alright, oops, didn't mean to unhook it. So I'll try to set this up in a way that the fend can go pretty much into the field like this and go straight from the field back to... There we go. Like that. It is taking a long time. I didn't take this into consideration. I've got to be honest. I really didn't take this into consideration. The overloader is not loading with a massive speed. It's kind of, yeah, how should I say it? It's kind of slow. Jesus. But it's doing the job, you know. It's going okay. Now these two trailers are identical except for the overloader, so they can hold the same, or they can have the same amount stored in them. I think I'm gonna go a little bit back for this one like that. Actually, we might set it like this. This is cool. Let's set it there. Yeah, that's fine. So we're gonna have to record a course with the fend as well, so we can have it all automatic. And I can see the second combine is in dire need of emptying now. So let's get this done. Go, 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 go. There we go. Alright, so this tractor is going to go into the grain transport mode, which is this button there. And there's nothing really funny about that, there's nothing hard about that. So let's start the course recording. We need to start from where we're loading. So we start from there. Let's see if we can get this done properly. That's 2. There we go. We just about made the rule with 3 waypoints apply. That's good. So we're going to go back to the silo. And unload back there. And this should be a relatively easy course for this tractor. Except this might be a little bit tricky to get in here. Alright, and let's stop here and unload. Now I don't need to set a waypoint or anything like that. Courseplay will detect the tip trigger and will unload when it gets back here, so there's no point in setting a waypoint or anything. It will happen automatically. Alright, so let's just lower the trailer again and head on out of here. There we go. I am curious to see if Courseplay can navigate this course without driving into anything. It's going to be tricky, I think, but let's just see. Okay, so let's head back to the field. And let's just set up a course like this. Alright, stop the course here, and we're going to start at the first waypoint, and numbers of runs to perform unlimited. We're going to go with barley, so let's just drive course. Let's see how this works. This should, theoretically, this should work fine. I've not tested it, so it might have a different result than the one that I want. But we'll have a look. we might have a different result than the one that I want. Let's jump into the Massey Ferguson and see how it goes, if we can find it anywhere. Is it that one? Yeah. Right, so it's 60% full, 64% full. And we seem to be getting... Wow. There we go. Don't know what happened there. He was in a hurry. It seemed like he was in a bit of a dramatic hurry, if there is such a thing. Anyway, he's getting his trailer full, and let's just follow him along here. If we're lucky, he's gonna figure out that he doesn't need to go this way. Yeah, see, now he figured out that he can actually go this way instead of having to go all the way around the field. So the first headland is a little bit tricky for them to figure out. But as soon as they have all of this figured out, it doesn't take much for them to do this. One thing we are going to do now, we're going to let him go, and we're going to get into this combine, because now it's done with the 2 headlands. So it needs to go to the actual field course now. So let's just have a look at how this one does it. I'm just going to take this one away like that. So it races the header, and it's starting to go to where it needs to go for the field course. And remember, this is all set up by Courseplay. I haven't told it to go this way. Courseplay has figured out this is the most efficient route for this. So we're sticking to the last lane of the headlands. Let's just have a look. Let's follow it along here. I think the second combine might be full. Maybe. Not sure yet. Alright, so he's going to come up to where he needs to go on the field course. So he's going to lower the header. Ah, okay, so he's going to go this way. Right, okay. Well, that's interesting. How is this going? Perfect. So, there we have it. It seems to be working just fine. Only thing we really need to check now is this tractor here, how this will fare in the silo building, because that is a narrow building. I'm not quite sure it's going to make it there, but we'll try. We'll see. It does take a long time to fill this trailer up though. Jesus, I should have thought about that. So maybe using that overloader wasn't the best idea, but it was a challenge. I wanted to give myself a challenge. Alright, so the combine is on its up and down course now. It's done with the headlands and are doing the field course now. So we might get into a little bit of a situation here with the 2 combines. Are they going to meet up and get stuck in traffic? Or are we lucky? Oh, we were lucky. Alright, why isn't this guy going? Oh, there he goes. He started the engine there. Right, he's off. I set up a course where the first 3 waypoints, it was touch and go that they would actually fit where they were supposed to be, but it seems to be going just fine. Alright, so he's heading back to the barn. And I am really curious how he's gonna navigate in here, because this is a tight fit. Ah, damn it. Alright. We might need to do something here. Either that, or I'm just gonna have to follow him along. But if this is the only hiccup that is on this setup here, I'm okay with it. Yeah, he can get out easily, so it was getting in. There's one error in this setup here, which is, my god, that is amazing. If that just works with only that tiny bit of error, I'm well pleased with it. So he's going to position himself back at the start point. Which we just saw that is working perfectly. So there you have it. Multiple machinery set up on doing the same task on the same field. And using Courseplay, the new multiple tool function in Courseplay. I will make a video of having 3 machinery running the same course as well. So stick around for that one. That will be coming out very soon as well. Right, guys. I think this was just about it. It seems to be working fine. I'm not going to record a new course back to the silo, because, well, if it's the only thing I need to do, then be that as it may. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.